So we are already having an eventful start to the first day of Packers training camp. The first practice starts in about 1 hour. But in the past hour or so, Packers GM Brian Gutekunst had a press conference and spoke with media. And as all of you know, up to this point, there has been no announcement of a Jordan Love deal, a Jordan Love extension getting done. But yesterday, Kenny Clark got his deal done. And so Brian Gutekunst was asked about the contract, and here is what he shared. This is from Matt Schneidman. He had a nice tweet recapping this from the press conference. He said this: Jordan Love will not practice until he has a new deal, Brian Gutekunst says. Love's camp informed Packers of that decision Saturday. Gutekunst says a deal could get done in the coming days, but you never know. Says big deals take time. Quote, I feel we're close. So I think we knew this was a possibility, and I think that if you're Jordan Love and you're about to sign a $200+ million deal, first off, I don't think it's wise to be out there playing without a deal because you run a risk of getting injured. If an injury happens, I think a deal still could get done, but that would definitely change things. And so I think it's wise from Jordan Love's perspective, from Jordan Love's camp, to hold out and not put yourself at a risk of injury until a new deal gets done. That's very reasonable for Jordan Love, and I have no problem with that. If you're in Jordan Love's position, that's probably something that most people would do. You don't want to take that risk when you're coming up on a massive contract. But the other thing I think that is important to note from the press conference, outside of Jordan Love, the fact that he's not going to be practicing until a deal gets done, is the fact that Gutekunst says a deal could get done in the coming days, and it sounded like he seemed somewhat confident that a deal could get done in the next coming days, in the next few days. And we'd already heard a few months back that Gutekunst was hoping a deal could get done by training camp. So far, there has not been a deal announced, and so that probably just means that there's a few small things that the Packers and Jordan Love's representation have to figure out when it comes to this contract. And I know there's been some ideas that, maybe a deal's already been done, but they haven't announced it yet. If that were the case, I think they would have already announced it. But the fact that on Saturday, Gutekunst says that Love's camp informed the Packers that Love would not be practicing until he gets a deal done. Clearly, there's still a little bit more work to do and to get done for this deal to become official. But Gutekunst, when we also look, he said you never know. And so that doesn't necessarily mean that a deal gets done in the coming days, even though it's a possibility. And so now this is going to be something to watch here in Green Bay. And I was hoping that a deal would get done before camp started, so that way we didn't really have to sit around here wondering, okay, when is Jordan Love going to be officially signed for the long term? Of course, he's already under contract for this season, but the fact that he's not going to be practicing, this probably means he's not going to play in any preseason games until a deal gets done. Hopefully it doesn't come to that point, but the longer time goes, obviously the more intense this will look. I think it's all going to end up fine, but you never know how long it's going to take. And I think that the Packers, Gutekunst, they're so confident and so adamant about getting a deal done with Jordan Love. And so I think that, we're definitely going to see a deal done get done before the summer. But the closer you get to the season, if we actually get close to the season and Love still doesn't have a deal, that's where you're like, okay, what's going on here? But we're still a really, really long way away from that. It's July 22nd. The season starts in September. So I really have no worries about this. I think that both sides clearly want to get a deal done. And so I think that, we're gonna see this happen. What's up, Corbin? What's up, Exotic? Packers better get this deal done. Yes. I'm hoping we're gonna see it soon. Who knows? But that's pretty much the update I want to share with you guys. I'll be out with more Packers news for today's training camp practices, so stay tuned. Make sure you turn on the post notifications.